Okay, good morning, Coach. We'll take some opening comments from you prior to the season finale against Cal.
Well, the guys, we're still continuing to get ready for Cal. Yesterday, we had to, postpone practice a little bit, about 45 minutes. And it was mainly, everybody knows about the 121 athletes and they know about the 10 full-time guys, but nobody talks about the 4 GAs, the 9 QCs, the 3 operational, department guys, the 11 recruiting assistants, the 12 strength department people, the 2 videos, the 5 trainers, the 5 equipment managers, like all those people. To play a football game, we all have to be on the same page. We all have to fight on together. We all have to make sure that everything we're doing going forward is the right message. So we had to continue to make sure we prepare right for Cal because, this is a big-time football opponent that is very physical in the trenches. And, they'll use multiple sets on offense and on defense. Coach Wilcox and the guys on defense and Peter Sermon, they're going to have those guys schemed up and ready to go. Cal's always been a tough matchup and a tough challenge. So the biggest thing about the postponement, some guys have went out. We just want to make sure that, as a whole, as a group, we all were having the same message and all on the same page. There's no doubt in my mind that we are. Sometimes if you just have one person that's slightly off, that's one too many. So just want to make sure that everyone in the whole, building is all preaching the same message, which we are. So, I'm looking forward. As you see, everyone was out there for practice. Everyone was ready to go. And, we did the right things yesterday to make sure we continue to succeed and get ready for Thursday.
Okay, we'll take some questions now. We'll start with Ryan Karchi.
Hey, Donte, just to clarify, are you saying there was some disagreement on whether people wanted to play in this game coming up?
No, I think it was more of a disagreement of making sure some of the stuff that we were doing all the way around, just making sure we were all on the same page and making sure everyone's ready to go because we have a lot of guys dinged up. We have a lot of guys hurt, right? So sometimes when guys are dinged up or hurt, it's hard to push forward in that last football game, especially when, it sucks because of the win-loss record that, you don't get a chance to go to a bowl game. So it's a lot of guys on our team that are, physically hurt. There's a lot of guys that are it's different between being injured and hurt. Some guys that are still able to push through it. Some guys, you're not. So just making sure that those guys are fully ready to go and their mind is there, not just them showing up on game day and being able to play, but also in practice and making sure they take mental reps.
And we noticed it was probably one of the sparser attended practices. Was that just a matter of injuries, or did you just tell some of those guys who were banged up, you don't need to go out there?
Well, some of the guys that are banged up, they won't be able to play in the game on Saturday. So if they won't be able to play the game on Saturday and we have finals coming up and, it's final papers coming up, it's a lot of things like that. So if you weren't going to be able to play in a particular ball game, it's, pretty much making sure you finish the semester off right academically. They are student athletes. So, I have to make sure that part of the plan is also taken care of.
Okay, Adam Grossbard.
Donte, we didn't see Chris Steele or Isaac Taylor Stewart or Jalen Smith out there yesterday. Why were they absent from practice?
Well, Jalen is still dealing with an injury that he suffered against UCLA, and he suffered on the play right before the touchdown catch. So he's still dealing with that. He hasn't been medically cleared. Isaac Taylor Stewart had not been medically cleared yet. He'll be out there today. He just got medically cleared this morning. So that's a positive. And Chris is also, he's making sure he actually wasn't medically cleared neither, but at the same time, making sure that he's handled some things academically.
And you mentioned on Tuesday, just how you're trying to keep your entire focus on Cal with everything else that's going on around the program. Do you feel like the players are doing the same thing?
I do because, I coach for them. They play for one another and for us. So we're all in this fight together. Like I say, that's the biggest thing, to making sure everyone in this program, not just the players, not just the full-time guys, but everyone, focuses on Cal. And that's where my focus continues to be. And that's where my focus will continue to stay.
Nathan.
Hey, Coach, was there anything in particular that happened to make you think that guys might not be on the same page? Because it didn't seem like a planned thing that caused the postponement of practice.
I'm sorry, I want to make sure I answer your question correctly, but no, I mean, it wasn't planned, but at the same time, when you get on 3rd and 3 and the play you called, almost sometimes isn't planned either. I mean, it's how you're able to deal with the moving parts is how successful you'll become. And, like when a guy gets injured, you don't go to the game thinking he may get injured. It's just kind of what happens. So as you can see, the guys that were out there for practice, it wasn't a lack of focus. It wasn't a lack of energy. The guys were still energetic. They still were out there moving around and running around. So, I mean, it was not planned. It became planned once I planned it. And, credit to the guys. We went in there and we talked for a second and we came out to practice and we did what we needed to do to get ready.
Cool. Thanks.
Technique?
Donte, how do you think, like, what was kind of the tenor of that meeting? How did they respond to some of the messages you were giving them in that moment?
We went out, and like Robert and I got done talking, the meeting was energetic, and the guys went to chanting, and they was out there, and I had kind of, because it had got a little later, I kind of told them just helmets only, and yet they still came out there with shoulder pads. So that shows you, where this team's mindset's at.
Thanks.
Back to Ryan Karchi.
Hey, Donte, you sent out a tweet last night that, a lot of people were interpreting somewhat cryptically, saying, the character of a person and culture of an organization isn't truly shown or known until you're hit with adversity. Who was that message towards?
It's to right now. I mean, this is adversity. We have a lot of guys that are injured, a lot of guys that are hurt. Like I say, all those people I named in the beginning, like everybody talks about the players and the full-time assistants, but the operational recruiting, the strength department, I mean, all those people, they don't know what their future holds after Saturday, right? So, I mean, it's making sure that no one is looking to what's going to happen after Saturday. I need everybody focused on what's going to happen on Saturday, and that's us making sure we go out there and put our best foot forward and play winning football. So, I mean, that's about right now. This is adversity because no one knows what the future holds for them.
So just to clarify, you don't have any concerns going forward about the motivation for Saturday?
No, I don't. That's why, I put on there hashtag build different, because I feel that I'm built different. I feel that everybody here is built different, and we're going to continue to do everything we need to do to succeed.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Antonio.
Donte, this is week 10 now of your interim run. What do you feel like you've learned about yourself in this situation?
I mean, you learn a lot, but every week I learn something new. Trust is a big thing. Morale is a big thing. I mean, just making sure that you're, part of a team. And it's a lot bigger than wins and losses. Everyone sees the wins and losses. That's how you judge someone. And, this is a sport where that's where you get judged off of. You do the process every week and you get judged off what happens on Saturday. They don't see all the other things that go into it. We have people on this team that are played hurt all year. We have people on this team that have lost family members this year. And in sports nowadays, you don't get a chance to take a day off. If you take a day off, an hour off, a week off, it's not like the game is postponed and the game is not going to be played. It's just someone else has to pick up not only their own work, but your work. And that even goes for players. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that has happened this year that has led to this. I mean, like I say, you look at the teams that have really good records, they've mainly been healthy all year. You look at the teams that's not where they want to be. I mean, it's an injury here, an injury there, and it's a domino effect. And it carries over even the special teams. So you got more guys getting hurt because guys are asked to do a little more than what they were normally asked to do. So, I mean, it's so much that, I can say that I've learned over this process that I can almost write a book on. But the biggest thing, once again, is you can look back on so many things, but today I'm all about what I'm going to do on Thursday to make sure this team is prepared for Friday, to make sure they're prepared on Saturday, and to make sure we do everything for Cal.
Is there anything you would have done differently during that time?
Of course. I mean, it's not about doing things differently. It's about what I would have probably did a little different as far as like just enhancement for that particular moment. I stand strong with every decision that I've made because it's things that I've analyzed and thought through before I did them. I just don't do things spur of the moment. So I stand strong with everything I did. I mean, of course, you wish the results would have been different on Saturday.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Shotgun.
Hey, Donte, when you look back on the season in the future, how do you think you're going to describe it?
As a challenge. I mean, it was a challenge. It was a challenge from the start. I mean, that's part of, you know, what you live for in this. Nobody, you are psychic and you know what's going to happen tomorrow, or you know what's going to happen next week, you know what's going to happen next year. Your life is going to be boring. Part of, you know, why you do what you do is because it's a challenge. It's competitive. You want to be the best. Like everyone that's on here right now doing this interview, you all want to be the best in your particular field. Whether it's Scout, Rivals, LA Times, 247, you want to be the best. That's why you do what you do. It's all a competition. So, I mean, it was a challenge. I wanted to be the best at win-loss record. That didn't happen, right? But at the same time, I see a lot of, you know, players and I see a lot of people that developed. So, like, once again, it's bigger than the win-loss record. They developed and they all learned from this, not just me. We learned from this together and we'll continue to push forward, whatever path that may be.
And then one thing for Saturday, what's your plan at cornerback right now? Not knowing the status of some of those guys that missed yesterday. We saw Kalen Bullock out there. What's some of the options that you do have?
I think we have quite a few options because you look at, you know, some of those guys that I say like weren't out there yesterday, they will be out there today. So of course that changes some things. And then you look at some guys like a Prophet Brown who, you know, now he can play because this would be his 4th game and he can still get his redshirt year. Kalen Bullock is a person that always can play anywhere in the secondary. So I think we still have some options and we'll be fine.
Okay, raise your hand if you have a question. Going once, twice. Okay, Coach, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you up at Cal on Saturday. Media, thank you for being here all season long, and look forward to seeing those that are going up to Cal. Travel safe.
Thank you. See you all at midnight.